What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny. In today's video we're pulling back the curtain on the up and coming Pantheon event. This goes live on April the 30th. If you want to find out more about the event, the up and coming challenges, the guaranteed raid rewards, then be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. We are well on our way to 200k, so make sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss an update. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now upon the launch of Into the Light, Bungie announced Pantheon. Now Bungie described this as a raid gauntlet involving bosses that are currently available in the game, with a few added twists and turns in how we approach them. Now it's very important to state that we won't be covering any mechanical changes of any of the encounters. This video purely focuses on the structure of Pantheon, what it is, how it's rolled out, and more importantly the loot that's on offer. Now Bungie have confirmed that Pantheon will increase in scale and difficulty week over week, starting with 4 bosses in the first week, growing all the way up until 8 in a row on May 21st. Now each time a boss is added, active modifiers will rotate and the power cap will change. And it's with that in mind, your power cap will start at 5 power levels below, moving all the way up until 20 powers below, replicating a contest mode modifier. Now as the difficulty scales, so does the loot and rewards. You'll be able to earn adept raid weapons, Deepsight versions of raid weapons, and even the raid exotics. And the rewards per Pantheon are linked to weekly challenges. You can also pick up pursuits from our site over in a Hall of Champions, and even by completing triumphs, which is where you'll pick up 4 of the new emblems. Now some of these triumphs do challenge you to complete each encounter before the bonus timer expires, granting you a higher score and therefore a platinum medal, and this will grant you some guaranteed raid rewards. Now when it comes to the rules of Pantheon, you need to complete raid encounters in succession. This will activate a transmat banner after completing an encounter to progress to the next arena. Now each encounter will also have a bonus timer, as we just mentioned. You'll earn additional points while the timer is active, and finishing the encounter before the timer runs out will grant additional score. Now completing encounters and completing encounters with high scores is what grants rewards, and remaining rewards for the Pantheon are tracked directly on the Triumphs page. Now our site 9940 will be waiting at the end of Pantheon for Guardians who complete the Divine Weaponry quests, and he has 2 of these quests that you can pick up over in the Hall of Champions. Now it's likely these quests will be released over time. The first quest requires you to complete the Pantheon on any difficulty, and before exiting Pantheon you'll be able to claim an exotic from our site 9940. Now this is from an exclusive raid exotic selection, so you'll be able to select an exotic weapon from any of the raids that are featured in Pantheon. And as for Divine Weaponry 2, you'll need to complete a run of the Pantheon Rolk Indomitable or the Pantheon Nazareth Sublime. Completing that will once again give you an opportunity to claim an exotic weapon from our site, therefore granting you 2 opportunities of getting guaranteed raid exotics. As we just mentioned, you'll be able to track your progress through Pantheon via the triumphs. There are 10 triumphs in total, and by completing all 10 you'll gain access to the new Godslayer title. Now from here we're going to look at all the Pantheon challenges. Now the first is called Extinction Averted, and here you need to complete all encounters in the Pantheon Atrax Sovereign. Now this is the first Pantheon challenge. Now combatants in this activity are 5 points over your current power level. Now this challenge will consist of the Golgoroth encounter, the Caretaker, the Macrocosm, which is the planet's encounter in the Root of Nightmares raid, finishing up with Atrax 1. Now there are 9 possible modifiers that can be active on each challenge. So as well as the Pantheon rules and the Atrax Sovereign modifier, which is what is adjusting the power level, you'll also see rotating modifiers in the form of Arc, Solar, Void, Stasis and Strand Surges, as well as a new modifier called Class Warfare. Now this is where using your class abilities increases your fire team's damage output and reduces incoming damage whilst it's active. So naturally, depending on the surges and also the Class Warfare modifier, you'll want to adjust your team accordingly to ensure you're as efficient as possible. Now completing this challenge will grant the Atrax Dethroned emblem. You'll also pick up 30 Spores of Conquest directly from the Triumph. And as we touched upon earlier, by completing the Divine Weaponry quest, you'll also get a free raid exotic. And the next triumph is called Checkmate, and this requires you to complete all encounters in the Pantheon Oryx Exalted. This consists of 5 bosses overall. This includes Golgoroth, the Caretaker, Macrocosm, Atrax 1, with Oryx being the new additional encounter. Now, combatants in this activity are 10 power levels over your current level, and much like with the Atrax Sovereign Challenge, there's also 9 possible modifiers that can be active. Again, these all include the Pantheon rules and the Oryx Exalted modifier, which is adjusting your power level alongside all the elemental surges. But there's also another new modifier called Shot Caller. Now, this is where landing multiple precision hits with primary ammo empowers special and heavy ammo weapons and reduces incoming damage while it's active. So once again, you'll want to make the most of some of these modifiers, especially with the power deficit, and by completing Checkmate, you'll earn the Exalted Beyond Oryx emblem, as well as an additional 30 Spores of Conquest. Now, the third triumph is called Cast Shadow. This is for the Rogue Indomitable Challenge. Now, this will see all combatants in this activity at 15 points over your current power level. So alongside Golgoroth, the Caretaker, Macrocosm, Atrax 1, Oryx, you'll see Rogue added to the list. And this challenge will also see the same modifiers as the Atrax Sovereign Challenge. You'll see Pantheon rules, Rogue Indomitable, alongside all the elemental surges and the class warfare modifier. Completing this triumph will grant the Rogue Subdued emblem alongside 30 additional Spores of Conquest. And the fourth and final challenge can be tracked on the Deity Destroyed triumph, and this is the Pantheon Nazareth Sublime Challenge. And this will see Golgoroth, the Caretaker, Macrocosm, Atrax 1, Oryx, Rogue, Riven of 1,000 Voices, and Nazareth added as additional final bosses. Now, all combatants in these 8 encounters will be 20 points over our current power level, creating a raid gauntlet that matches a contest modifier. Now, the Nazareth Sublime Challenge will see the same modifiers as the Oryx Exalted Challenge, including the Pantheon rules, Nazareth Sublime, followed by the Elemental Surges, and the return of the Shot Caller modifier. Now, completing all these encounters will complete the Deity Destroyed triumph, therefore granting the elevated above Nazareth emblem and 30 Spores of Conquest. Now, the remaining 6 triumphs are all linked to earning high scores in each of the 4 challenges. This includes Conquer the Crypt, which is for the Atrax Sovereign Challenge, and by completing this triumph, you'll earn the Smite of Marine Harrowed weapon. Next, we have the Unseat the King, the Oryx Exalted Challenge, and completing all 5 encounters will grant you the Quillam's Terminus Harrowed machine gun. Next, we have the Double Edged, which is for completing all encounters in the Rogue Indomitable Challenge. By completing all 6, you'll be able to pick up the Insidious Adept Pulse Rifle. That's followed by At the Zenith. This is for the Nazareth Sublime Challenge. Completing all 8 will gain access to the Acacia's Dejection Adept Trace Rifle. Now, alongside those, we also have Rising High, which is for earning points across all encounters in Pantheon. This will require 1.5 million points. This will grant you the Zau's Bane Harrowed Hand Cannon. And the 10th and final triumph for Pantheon is called Mountain's Peak. This will see you needed to earn 3 million points in total, but will grant a Rufus's Fury Adept as a reward. Now, as we touched upon earlier in the video, by completing all 10 of the Pantheon triumphs, this will gain you access to the Godslayer seal, which will only be available until the conclusion of Into the Light. You'll have up until the 4th of June to get all these challenges done. And which challenge are you and your fire team looking forward to the most? Be sure to sound off down in the comments below. So there we have it, guys, a good look at Pantheon, the up and coming raid gauntlet. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump into the game as always, guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.